Hello, hello everyone. Welcome back to the World Cup 2023. The semi-finals are continuing on. The next matchup is a very special one. A matchup with a lot of expectation, a matchup with a lot of history between the United States and Poland. By the way, this is a losers bracket match in case you aren't aware. We are losing one of these two teams today. They are fighting to the death. I can't quite believe I'm saying that. I'm Doomsday. And joining me in this cast is the one and only T1G. Mate, what is going on?
Man, I don't think anybody coming into this tournament expected to be seeing this matchup in losers bracket, especially not losers bracket semifinals. One of these teams eliminated top 8. Something that has not happened in quite some time for United States. And you mentioned the history in this one. Poland, of course, the last team to actually eliminate the United States from an OS World Cup back in 2017 when they beat them in the grand finals. United States has, of course, won every single OWC since then. So it would be quite the return to several years ago if Poland were to pull that off again. But man, oh man, this is going to be a closely fought battle.
Yeah, this is well poised right now. Poland are the best they've looked in years, and the United States maybe looking the most vulnerable they have in years. But we said that last year, didn't we, right? When they went down against SK in a very close matchup in the semis winners bracket, and they fought back from there. They showed the character. They've got to do it again this year. But the state of the losers bracket is complete chaos. It's just bedlam. And this is a nasty matchup to be dropped into. I mean, you've been following the US's rise for many years. You're very heavily intertwined, right, with the NA tournament scene. So you know, you've been following the rise of the US pretty closely. How are you feeling about their chances here?
You know, I think you put it best by saying that this is the most vulnerable that the United States has looked. They hadn't lost before. I mean, their last year lost in the semis. Before that, they hadn't lost in the winners bracket since 2000, I want to say 2014 or 2015. This year, they lost in the winners bracket quarterfinals, and look, not great in doing so. Let's put it that way. And so it's a team that I'm worried about, and I'm not used to saying that with the United States. You know, you usually just think they've got player X, they've got player Y, they've got player Z that's going to get them through this match. And last week it didn't quite feel that way, but I will say that their match yesterday against Sweden, that 6-1 very clean victory, gave a little bit of confidence back in this team's ability to perform when it matters. But Poland is a whole different beast.
Yeah, completely different. And Poland as well, in the same boat, right? They were against China, and that was pretty one-sided as well against the Chinese team there. They dropped down, of course, in an incredibly close matchup against Australia. It wasn't quite as dominant as the US versus Canada we saw. But, you know, both teams making light work of their first round losers bracket matches this week. So they've had a good chance to have a look at the pool as well, get some of those nerves out yesterday, coming into this round 2. So it's poised for these two teams to be very well prepared, both mentally and, of course, in terms of map practice, to, well, take on their toughest challenge possibly of the entire tournament.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough ask for both of these teams. Of course, talking about the maps that they got to see yesterday, they did have 3 maps in common in their matches against China and Sweden, respectively. And the United States did win all 3 of those. They had the Nomad 5 in common, which Poland went ahead and just banned out. They had the Hard Rock 3 and the Fremod 4 in common as well. The United States won both of those pretty comfortably. And the other note that I want to make about this match, of course, and you know, this has kind of been a little bit of an elephant in the room over the course of this week, but United States has, I want to say, 5 players who are on the West Coast, and for them, it is currently 7 in the morning. And yes, they played only an hour later than this yesterday, but that is a quite early time frame to be playing a match that's this important. So curious to see how they're able to battle through having to play this early in the day, which is something not everybody is 100% comfortable with.
And rise and shine for some early morning Osu. I mean, didn't they move this match to this time, or was this how it was set? Yeah,
this
was right?
This was a reschedule. I believe there were some concerns over player availability, talking about a couple of the players on the teams. So this was the compromise that they were able to agree on. And so here we are, and quickly getting through the ban phase as we discuss the matchup. It looks like we had the DT1 Hard Rock 1 bans from the United States, so some AIM bans there. Nomad 5 DT3 bans from Poland, banning out the speed against the United States roster that's been really good at speed. And first pick, Free Mod 4, one of those maps the United States won in comparison with Poland yesterday. That's where they're going to start. Despite losing it against Sweden, they won it, virtually against Poland.
I can imagine US can do better than what they did against Sweden as well. In the US, they pick lots of tapping and they pick lots of control. And that's pretty much what they're going to, so I'm not surprised to see this come up again. The anti-mod, small circle size, very low AR. AR 7.5. When you get like anything below AR 8, each increment makes a massive difference in comfort because players just aren't used to it. But players like Boshiman, who's already in for the US, will have no problems dealing with extremely low AR. I imagine he'll be taking the hidden for his team. But Poland have players that should be okay on the extreme low AR too, but I don't think they'll be nearly as comfortable on those mods.
Yeah, these were the two teams that were not super comfortable looking on this map, right? They did both lose it despite winning their matches 6-1. So this might have been that one map style that they weren't as comfortable with. As you mentioned, Boshiman coming in on the hidden, putting up a 712k. Fiery Rage on the Hard Rock putting up an S rank with nearly 700k, but Taquito putting up a 600k Nomad. The big question mark was their Hard Rock player, which yesterday was Rectagon, dropped a sub 400k score on this. We'll have to see what they do to try to improve. Looks like they're going to be bringing Vaxe in on it today, so you do get a sub there. Other side, Michny Malashevsky Rafal was in for this yesterday. Looks like it's going to be Mustache in for it today, and then Bartek their fourth. And they kind of flipped the other way around. They had their Nomad players doing better than their modded players, but still not a great score for them. 1.8 million for Poland yesterday. They're going to need to improve on that, I think, a lot to win it here against the USA if they want to start off with a close point at best.
Totally agree. US have a lot of room to improve on this. I'd expect them to, but we'll see. I mean, the change in personnel definitely means they've looked at this. Definitely, you went back to the drawing board a little bit on it. I mean, if you're bringing in a sub, Vaxe is a pretty decent sub to bring in.
He is indeed one of those players that we talk about as tourney goats. So here we are gonna get going. USA Poland losers bracket. Loser goes home in top 8. Winner advances onward to face off against the Philippines next week. And we are jumping right in. Free Mod 4 first pick. This is going to be a spicy one.
Yeah, here we go. It's the 7th match between these two in OWC history, including each of those bracket resets. But this could be the most dramatic one of the lot.
We're seeing some early struggles here. Michny with the early break, Mustache with the early break on the Hard Rock. Looks like Boshi and Taquito both breaking early on for the United States, but the USA has that tiny early lead. Double FC against double FC. Fiery Vaxe against Malashevsky Bartek.
This is looking a lot better for the US. Oh, missed there from Fire Rage on the Hard Rock. They're still in a decent spot here. Poland dropping on the slow part. Full reset.
That was not what you wanted to see for Poland. They're halfway through. It's a full team wipe. Meanwhile, Boshi still going, Vaxe still going, and Taquito and Fire Rage are going to start to build back up. This lead is going to grow for the United States. There's another break for Michny and Bartek. Not looking the best here for Team Poland. They continue to struggle on this map, much like they did yesterday so far through. But the trades come out from Fiery and Boshi, so it's not going to be over just quite yet.
Not quite. It's a decent score lead, though. It's still growing. Poland just keep resetting, though. And Taquito's recovered really nicely on that hidden. One of the hidden mains, of course, showing up again first map. But Vaxe on that Nomad. Mr. Reliable. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, he has always been such an important anchor player for the United States historically on free mods in these late rounds because he can come in on Nomad and put up scores like this. And he's been a player we've had some question marks about, right? Not up to his usual form, but there's going to be Vaxe starting off the match with an FC. So doing what we expect of the man, maybe reaching the standards that he is known for setting, 2.6 mil, and it's a 554k win for the United States on their first pick. That's exactly how they wanted to start that match off.
It's what they needed to. And it was a good pick into Poland, who again struggled on it a little bit. It's a decent run, 3 players over 500k. 3 miss on that hidden from Bartek. Still got it, man, but US looking too good on these control picks. Solid first one for them.
Yeah, I think It's going to be very important in this match for somebody to try and find some momentum early on. So United States taking a clean, comfortable first pick is going to be good for the mental. And it says a lot about their level this, at the very beginning of the match. We talked about maybe being a little concerned with this early morning thing. I don't think that's actually going to be an issue as it turns out, because they looked pretty much fine there. So we'll go into Poland's first pick and see if they can their own pick up the way United States just did.
Poland do like a lot of similar maps that US do, particularly in the speed side of things, but they're clearly not trusting that against the US, judging by those bans. They are mechanics enjoyers, they do like a bit of aim. They are going to be going into some control, it looks like, though. I'm seeing a number 2 there.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is an interesting one. USA did play this yesterday, they won it. Poland did not. US put up a 2.2 million, so kind of middle of the road for that team score. And don't know exactly what Poland will look like on this, but this does seem like the sort of map that Malashevsky especially will absolutely demolish. So you're given, your best player the best tools he can have to be successful in this match.
Yeah, getting him on his most comfortable sort of map style is always a boon, particularly after that first map where they may have been rocked a little bit. But hey, it's US's first pick, it's whatever. But Poland's first pick has to work, and going into control right off the bat into a team like US does strike as being a bit of a spicy pick in my opinion. But if the Polish players are comfortable on this, then that's clearly where they're going, regardless of the opponent, right?
And notably, we're seeing Vaxe staying in the lobby. He did not play either of these first couple of maps yesterday, and if he's in form and in for them today, that's going to be a big buff for the United States to try and improve some of those performances. No Taquito in on this is a little interesting. We'll see if we'll see what the story is there, because he top scored this for the USA yesterday. So a little surprised to see. Okay, he may be in anyway. We see a change.
Surely, right?
Yeah, surely he has to do this, right? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, man got like nearly 700k on it. That's more than enough. Yeah, looking like a slightly different roster again though for the US. Fire Rage played. They got 500k, but he's not in this time. Looks like he's been replaced by Vaxe. So I guess Vaxe's feeling better today.
Yeah, that was their lowest score, was that score from Fiery yesterday. So, if you've got Vaxe in who's going to get that kind of score or better, makes sense to have him. Poland, Malashevsky, Bartek, Nahus, and Rafal. I think, all eyes for Poland almost always going to be on Malashevsky. He's the player that they have to be able to rely on, and that's going to be huge in their first pick here, because if he can drop a big score, it's going to be very good for them as they try to hold their first pick, which I think they very much need to do. You don't want to get, you don't allow the United States to run out to an early lead, but there is a first break going to be from Nahus.
Very early on though, before the map really gets in, so plenty of time to bring that one back. The rest of the team from Poland should be well set on something like this as well. Bartek and Waipan, Rafal there, should be very scary on this too.
This Polish roster is super strong on this type map, as you mentioned. Though the United States is known for control and Poland is as well, but there are a couple of early breaks. Malashevsky, Bartek. Taquito does trade one of them, but it's a double FC and a near FC from Kama against an FC from Rafal and a bit behind an FC from Nahus. The United States, again, going to have that early lead. Only a quarter of the way through, a lot of map to go, but starting off the right foot here for the United States if they want to get an early break point.
The overlapping streams coming in now. One of the big parts of this map is just Taquito breaking on the side of US. 3 FCs still going, apart from just the one on the side of Poland in Waipan. Not getting too far though, the USA. Accuracy is doing a lot of work actually for Poland.
Yeah, those double 99s on Malashevsky and Bartek, and near 99 on the other two players, really important. But there's another break from Bartek as he was recovering a pretty decent combo from his early miss. Just shy of halfway through, not going to help out the score. Oh, Vaxe gets hit by the fast back and forth slider, and now we're down to 1 FC on Rectagon and that near FC from Kama, so that's going to open the door back up for Poland.
Yeah, they have the lead by a small amount, but they're back in it now. Here come the streams again. Bartek gets a break there, though. It's still with Poland. The big combos are holding here.
Oh, this is so terrifying going into the back half of this map. The business end of this pick does not get any easier. And there goes Kama. No matching break from Poland, so they'll be able to pull this lead back, but there's a trade from Nahus and Rafal. Oh, that's terrifying. That you can't have that for Poland. That's their FC and their big backing combo gone, and you can see Nahus's frustration with that miss because that just handed this one to the USA on a silver platter.
Brutal on those high SVs. But now Recti has the keys to the kingdom here. Last bit to go, but it's on his back to pull this one now and finish it off in style for the US. It gets the break though, but it's still with the US thanks to Taquito's 700 combo. Still looking so good here, the Americans.
Taquito on the best act for the United States as well, 99.19. Players well known for being very strong in these types of control and rhythmically challenging picks, showing up once more. And of course, Vaxe on that backing combo for him. They're going to have a very solid team score, very consistent across the board for the USA. And this is going to be a quick break point, and that is not what you want to see for Poland. Like I said, United States with momentum is a scary thing indeed, and that is now a 2-0 lead with a 250k break point. And look at that score distribution. I mean, 100k from their top score to their bottom score. I mean, you love to see that consistency across the roster. Vaxe bottom scoring despite putting up the S rank goes to show a little bit about how good these United States players are even in late rounds.
Yeah, it just shows the depth of this US team, especially on this sort of map style. It's a really good team score from the US. Poland's score, honestly, is very solid as well. 3 players and nearly 600k on this. Waipan with nearly 700k is very good for this. It's just the opponent being so strong on control is the issue here. It's a brave pick for Poland. I can see why they picked it, but it hasn't worked out. And now, yeah, US got that momentum, as you said. Some confidence in this very highly contested matchup is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, that it is, and I will be very interested to see where the United States decides to go with their next pick. They do have that Nomad 3 that they won in the compared scores. They have DT2 if they want to go into speed, Hidden 3 if they want to go into speed as well. So some options. Kind of options abound here. There's so many different skill sets represented in this pool, and the United States is such a well-rounded team. They can pick just about anything they want here, I feel.
Yeah, they can pick out a lot of different elements to this pool. They have a choice. I do think the Hidden 3, the last straw being speed and density, can bring in some of those reading players and the tapping players. I think the US have a great roster for something like that. They're not going to go there, though. They're going to go into some more of the control side of things, looking with the Yosei Teikoku, 3mod 3.
So this, another one the United States did not play yesterday. Poland put up a pretty reasonable score. They put up a 2.7, nearly 2.8 million team score, which is very respectable on a map like this. It's quite challenging, you know, kind of that tapping flow control aim, some finger control thrown in as well. I'm interested to see how the United States performs on this because we really don't have any data on it.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty confident they're going to be pretty good on it because they've been very good on the 3mod picks because their mod players are so strong and the backing players on the no mod are just so rock solid. The changing styles in this map, those constant BPM changes and snapping changes, is exactly the sort of thing I look at, especially the no mod fills in the US, having no problems with at all. And I think the mod players aren't going to be too bothered either, so I think it's a great pick for the US into Poland. And Poland had a good score on it as well. Bartek had a very nice no-mod FC, I believe. Nahus as well with the no-mod. But the mod head-to-heads again. It's going to be a tough one for Poland, I think.
Yeah, you had Malashevsky and Waipan or Rafal on the mods on Hidden and Hard Rock respectively. Malashevsky dropping a 581k, uncharacteristic underperformance from him yesterday. Rafal on the 426k Hard Rock, quite a challenging mod on this map, certainly not the easiest thing you can do. So again, it's going to be Poland looking to improve their scores versus what they did yesterday. And United States just, I think, kind of trying to continue to play up to expectations.
I think in terms of Malashevsky's Hidden yesterday, I mean, when Malashevsky doesn't FC a map, you just know that there's room to improve because he can FC anything at this level. So we'll see if things drop well for Poland today. But in the 4v4, should be a good one for the US. It'd be a big steal for Poland if they could pull something together here, and they have the potential to do it. Absolutely. The roster's looking very similar for Poland. Looks like it's the same 4.
Indeed it is. And it's going to be Oh, they switch up the mods? Is that what I am seeing here? We have Malashevsky going over to the Hard Rock, Bartek taking the hidden this time, and meanwhile you run Nahus and Rafal in the no mod, so they're switching it up completely, switching the mod players and the no mod players. Meanwhile, USA, Kama Vaxe on no mod, Rectagon, Hard Rock, Takedo hidden, no surprises there whatsoever. The consistency of a player like Vaxe on Nomad, as we've discussed on these free mod picks, is very, very key for the United States free mod strategy.
Starts out with these high BPM taps and linear aim sections. Both teams not having any issues early on, but the constant changes, and especially the type signature and BPM changes, drop like a sledgehammer. It's easy to catch you out if you're unaware.
It's going to be Rectagon getting caught out first. So early lead to Poland for the first time on map number 3 now. They will have a bit of a lead here as we start off, but this map is quite long, nearly 4 minutes, so don't think it's over anytime too soon just because of one break.
Accuracy down a little bit for Recti, but he's got time to recover it. Time to get used to the map style a little bit. But no one else having such issues at the moment, so accuracy is looking very good for Poland.
Just gotta wait for this map to kind of build back up before anything will be really expected to happen. You've got to just combo through this section, get as much free combo as you can before it really throws the kitchen sink at you once you get through this first third.
1/3 streams coming in there. Everyone in this lobby making this look like it's easy. It really isn't. As you said, give it a moment and things go up the gears in this map.
The streams and flow aim patterns that start to show up once you get towards the halfway mark and beyond really get a lot more challenging. And here we go. The flow aim in this comes at you quickly. That LMT style, and it's going to catch out Bartek. And there goes Nahus as well, wrecking on the second break for United States. But they have now a 3FC to 2 advantage against Malashevsky and Wypan.
With the US, they have 3FCs to 2. The BPM change now. No one dropping though, but the 1/6 is coming in. Gets real nasty here. It's still very precarious for both teams. Big combos on both sides.
Oh man, this is getting to be nail-biter territory as those FCs are continuing to hold. There goes Bartek again. That's not the important one to be looking out for, though. We're looking at Kama Vaxe Takedo. We're looking at Malashevsky Rafal. The United States clinging to about 100k lead. It's going to continue to grow with that combo advantage, but it is still anybody's game with a quarter of the map to go. That's a lot of combo in the last quarter of this pick.
So much as well, and the streams don't stop. You drop one of these streams and you lose so much AC and score. 170k can disappear in a flash if you're not careful. Oh, we're going to see a slip from these combos, though.
I don't know. Everybody's looking so comfortable on these combos, man. Nobody looks like they're going to break anytime too soon. Oh, man, starting to be tough territory. And there goes Malashevsky, and that's going to settle this one. This is done and dusted. Signed, sealed, and delivered. United States is going to consolidate the break point. There goes Rafal as well, just to add insult to injury. Meanwhile, the triple FC still intact for the United States. Perhaps we can say that rumors of the USA's demise were greatly exaggerated as they drop this kind of score on this kind of pool against a team like Poland. It's going to be a 3-0 lead here for the USA, and they're looking frankly dominant through the early stages of this match. Halfway through now, 3-0, and it has looked comfortable for the United States.
Yeah, US have come here to play, man. They are not messing around. That's an incredible team score from the USA on their own pick. Really showing up. That Takedo hidden FC is doing it again. And Karma coming in as well. Cheeto Blast with the Nomad FC with 99.4% is very high for this, even on Nomad. Great stuff here.
Kama is an AC overlord, man. You so consistently see him top accuracy in every lobby he's in. It's unbelievable, his rhythm sense and accuracy. Really, really impressive stuff time and time again whenever you're seeing him in a map. But man, the hidden FC from Takedo, that is probably one of the top scores of the week on that map, I've got to think. Very, very impressive stuff from the entire USA squad. And this feels like a little bit of a dart throw with the Nomad 1 pick if you're Poland against the USA, who built a very strong aim roster this year.
Yeah, the classic Nomad 1. But you know what? If I think of no mod 1 teams in OWC, I think the first team that comes to mind is Poland, in my opinion. They seem to be one of the few teams in recent years that aren't afraid to go straight into these raw aim picks. And I think this is a pretty good pick, honestly, for Poland. USA are absolutely going to be challenging them, though. It should be a really tight fight again. But with this map just being pure demon aim, it's rock solid 7.5-star mechanics for 4 minutes. It doesn't let up at all. Does seem like a very Polish map to me.
Yeah, they are number 1 on this so far this week for a reason, and they put up I believe 200 FC on Malashevsky and 829k on Nahus, and some solid backing scores on Michny and Mastash as well. This is, as you said, it is a team that is built for consistency aim at these high star ratings. Malashevsky, I mean, you can toss him an 8-star no mod 1 and he'll FC it. Like, he just does not care. That man's aim consistency is a thing to behold. So as the same is very true of Nahus as well. I do think it's a solid pick for Poland, but you see no mod 1 picks and you just feel like it's a little bit of a coin flip in so many cases, because it's so easy to just find a break on one pattern here or there, and whichever team gets hit by it worst can just instantly lose the map. So we'll have to see how this one goes. United States, a solid aim roster. Vaxe, Window Life, Rectagon, Taquito. But Poland, number 1 on this map, as I said, so far this week, and there's a good reason for it.
Yeah, it's they really want to try and flex here, but this US roster, that is terrifying on an aim map. This is a lobby on a no mod 1. This set of players is insane for a map like this. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, unbelievable amounts of aim consistency in this lobby. It's pretty ridiculous to see these 8 players are going to battle this one out. And this is a very long no mod 1, right? This is 4 minutes. I believe it's like 2k combo, or just about 2k combo. One of the longer no mod 1s you're likely to see. Michi not starting off well. A couple early breaks. Oh my goodness, he is not able to get comfortable with these kick slider jumps in the intro. I'm not sure if that's where he had his trouble yesterday as well. I don't recall offhand, but he's got to get that one under control. Taquito, though, also going to trade, so not the end of the world for Poland by any means.
It's still very even, Stevens. One player trading each way. Going to be just fine for either team. I mean, what you see here is what you get for the entire map. It's just screen jumps all day, every day. Occasional streams as well. Particularly in the solo, it becomes quite streamy. So watch out for that one.
Those solo streams can catch you out if you're not careful, but what can also catch you out are the jumps if your name is Michny, it would seem. He's continuing to have a little bit of trouble. That's another break. He has got to recover. The United States holding on to a triple FC, and that backing combo from Taquito going to build them just a tiny little lead this early on. But there goes Window Life, and now that 3 FCs 2, Poland back in front on this pick.
They have the advantage once again to reel him in. There's no such thing as a break point in this, though. Not even the verses have real easier aim. It does not stop, so they have to keep their nerve. I mean, the 2 players for the US that have the combo right now are the ones you want on something like this. So they are terrifying still.
It's going to be a trade with Taquito and Mastash. But yeah, as you said, Vaxe, Rectagon, the stalwarts, and these very consistent, strong aim players holding against Malashevsky and Nahus. Meanwhile, Michny and Mastash breaking. This lead is going to stay pretty much dead center. The combo ever so slightly in favor of the United States, but it is practically negligible at this point. We're about to reach the halfway mark, though, so watch those FCs carefully, because you can get score cap if you miss. And there goes Rectagon, just like that.
And that's huge. That's huge for Poland now. It's just Vaxe left with the FC for Team USA. The Sigmas holding strong here for the Poles. But we're only halfway through, as you said. Still 2 minutes to go for this. Taking the streams.
If there's anyone you want holding combo on a no mod 1 FC, it's Nahus and Malashevsky, because their consistency on this type of map is something to behold. They were the top 2 scorers for their team on this map yesterday, and they're looking to do the same thing here again. Into the streams, holding comfortably, into these big sliders, continuing to hold comfortably. It's still only a 75k lead, though. That backing score for the United States is there. Any breaks from Poland will be punished, but there goes Vaxe, the lone FC gone for the USA, and Poland should be able to run away with this one now in the last third of the map if they can keep these FCs up.
Yeah, and Mastash as well. 600 combo will counter a lot of what Window Life will bring as well. A lot of insurance going into the final chorus. But still a bit dodgy. 200k rising, but a quarter of the map to go. Still quite a bit yet.
There is a fair amount of time and a fair amount of combo, but the United States just doesn't really have anything to fight back at this point. It is Malashevsky and Nahu's putting on a clinic here, as they are expected to do, as they are known to do, as they needed to do. Nahus will find the first break of that pair, but Malashevsky still looking solid. Michny trades with Window Life, not going to be a big deal. You've got an FC and a 940 combo. United States really has no way to combat that. This is going to be the first pick on the board here for Poland. It's exactly what they needed after falling behind that quick 3-0.
Yep, the Poles, you trust their No 1, they break it out when they need it the most, and they just seem to always be able to perform on it. Taking down a strong AIM team in the USA, sure, they don't like picking it, but when it appears, they are terrifying. But it is the Poles that take this AIM pick. They're on them on the board, and they needed it. A 4-0, you think, would have been hard to come back from. With a 3-1, it's game on.
Absolutely. 3-1, just a single break point. And in a matchup that's this volatile, anything can happen anytime. And that anything includes Malashevsky FCing the map twice in a row. Little worse act this time, 7-100s instead of 2, but the FC is still there. The perfect combo is still there. And that was more than enough. Do not look at Nahus' score. Thank you very much. That was what Poland needed. That was exactly what the doctor ordered. After that 3-0 deficit was established, they get one on the board. One break point is much easier to come back from than 2, after all. And now you make United States think a little bit more about their picks going forward. See where they decide to go. That was what Poland wanted. Try to get a little momentum going back that other way.
So I don't think they'll be going into much more of the game. I mean, USA never do, really. They don't really pick the aim maps. It's all about the speed and the control, so... In terms of speed, you got plenty to work with here. The Soundholic map. Sorry about my face, the last straw could count as well. The map that shall not be named. I seem to curse it whenever I do. Could still be picked.
The United States did put up a much better score than Poland on that particular map yesterday, so it is, I think, a good shout.
It is, yeah. It is. That's such a volatile pick if, I'll go ahead and say it, if Blue Zenith comes up. But, plenty of control open as well if you want to go down that route, and it's worked for them very well so far this match.
I'm curious if we do end up getting into this hidden pool at all, because Poland has some very strong hidden players, but the United States does as well. And they looked really good on that hidden 2 yesterday, but instead, this is going to be a free mod 2 pick, and I want to say this might be our first free mod 2 pick of the week. This is indeed our first free mod 2 pick so far in, what is this, now our 7th of 8 matches of this week.
I'm a bit surprised, to be honest, this wasn't more popular. Like, when I was looking through the poll, it seemed like one of the more comfortable maps, maybe, for some of the teams. It's relatively standard ult styling, although it's got some gimmicks that make it quite hard on the mods. There's some hard perfect stacking, especially in the second half, that can make it hell for the hidden players. And some nasty anti-aim, which can be quite awkward on the small CS for the hard-up players. But we have no data on this, so I guess we'll see how some of the 2 top players in the tournament do on it.
Yeah, we know the United States looked really good on the Nomad 3 yesterday, which is another kind of standard alt pick. As you said, this one, you go into that free mod pool, you get those smaller circles for the hard rock players, you get that slight reading challenge for the hidden players. I don't know. I'm very interested. Like I said, this is the first time we'll be seeing this map, so anything can happen. We have nothing to go by.
And with it being, relatively standard ult styling, particularly for the no-mod players, both sides should have some very solid players for the no-mod side of things, and the mod players, again, for the US, have been looking better on those hidden in the hard rock. We've seen Fiery Rage come into the lobby. Could be taking the hard rock, although it could be Recti possibly as well.
I think this is probably Rectigon on hard rock. Fiery could actually run the hidden on this, and then you run Vaxay and Kama on the no-mod like you did on free mod 3. I would not be surprised to see them do the same strat. Or, wow, Vaxay maybe going out, so it's going to be probably Taquito hidden, Fiery, Kama, nomod in that case. If Taquito's coming in, he's almost always going to be that hidden player. And Malashevsky, Bartek, Nahus for Fall. I've seen a lot of those players for Poland. Probably figure hidden on Malashevsky, and maybe Hard Rock. Hard Rock on who? That'll be the question. Hard Rock on, looks like Hard Rock on Ypan, as he is not loaded in. They don't have a Hard Rock yet.
It's looking more like the standard like 3-mod setup for Poland, right? Wypan on the Hard Rock, Malashevsky on that hidden. I mean, they changed it up for Zetsu, but this is their usual go-to, it seems. Playing a bit more safe this time around.
We'll see if this one plays out better for Poland than the previous 3-mod pick did. We're gonna have to find a break point sometime in this match, and you know, better sooner than later if you're a Polish fan or a Polish player. See how the alt 3-mod goes for everyone involved. The first time we've seen this map so far this week. Shoutouts to Flake for this one. Here we go. It's an early break from Fiery Rage. Not what we want to see for the USA. Recon also down pretty far on the accuracy. It'll be a little bit early lead for Poland.
Very early on. See some of these ult patterns coming in, the wiggles, the sudden jumps off of a flow aim ult section. Little aim patterns like that is what makes the difficulty here. Some wiggle streams happen later on as well, around the middle to that 3/4 mark. You get some big wiggles, but I think they're cheesable, Nomad.
They're very reminiscent of the Nomad 3 from a couple weeks ago. I want to say, was that in
yeah.
16? The big wiggle stream that caught so many, or wiggle alt pattern, I guess I should say, it caught so many people out on that Nomad 3. Kind of rears its ugly head here once again in this pick. We'll see if anybody gets caught out now. But United States is going to pull it back, that break from Rafal, giving them the combo advantage, but still triple FC for Poland, and just shy of a triple FC for the United States with combo slightly behind. But there goes Bartek. That's a pretty big combo. That is one of those FCs gone. United States going to extend their lead out just a bit now.
5 gets dropped there, but still 3 FCs for the US. Still in a very good spot here. 2.5 FCs for Poland, really, at the moment. Keeping them in it. Here comes the halfway point.
Got that very reliable Malashevsky hidden FC still intact, as to be expected. Nahus on the Nomad FC. Those have been 2 players who've been so key for them so often. They're the ones with the FC still alive. We did see another break from Rafal. Not what you want for Poland, as United States still holding to the double FC and 20 combo off FC. Might as well say 3 FCs. And very impressive from Rectagon here, still on that Hard Rock FC. When you compare his score to his opposite number on Hard Rock, he's up by 160k and over 1% accuracy as well.
Coming up to some of the wiggles now. Still a lot of combo on the field. Some high level play here. Slow slided there, Karma.
And here we go. It's Nahus that falls on that first wiggle alt pattern. So it's going to trade the FC breaking with Kama. It's fortunate there for the United States to escape without any blood taken on that miss.
Malashevsky's holding the fort, but he can't do it alone for Poland. The mod players for the USA showing up again. 2 of the experienced members of this US team making the dream work here. And it's looking pretty decided. Another reset there from Bartek. It's just Malashevsky. USA really taking this one home.
This is another just crazy alt map performance from the United States. You feel for Malashevsky on that 99 act hidden FC, but he's actually... Oh, I was going to say he's being outdone by Taquito until Taquito broke. I think he overtapped. Was that note lock, maybe, that caused that break? I'm not entirely sure. That's really unfortunate to see that miss. The map has been decided already, so it won't affect the outcome, but a bit sad to see for Taquito wanting that FC on this pick. Rectagon, though, looking to bring the Hard Rock FC home, and Fiery with that huge recover combo as well on Nomad.
Yeah, Rectagon is just going so hard on this map right now.
And how big of a difference?
Stuff.
How big of a difference is this? You have on one side a Hard Rock FC, on the other side you have Hard Rock 374K. I mean, that is just massive. Rectagon showing why he has been one of these incredible top-end tourney players so far this year and beyond, and continuing his run of form. Hard Rock FC to close the deal here. United States continues to hold on to that solid breakpoint advantage, 4-1. Malashevsky, man, you knew he was going to do something crazy like that. It's a hidden FC for him, but unfortunately just not getting the help he needed from his team. Shades of 2022 when these teams matched up. Malashevsky looked so great then as well. Didn't get the scores he needed from his team on all the picks, and that helped the United States to a victory then. And a year later, we might just be seeing history repeating itself.
Looking at the miscounts, though, on both sides, it did look pretty close in terms of that. US having the combo, though, but Poland just getting those misses when they really didn't need them. The score was pretty decisive in the end, though. Just the team consistency on the control is doing so much work for the US this game. But Poland are going to be going into some more aim here in the free mod pool. Works for them in no mod 1. This is a different kettle of fish, though, to that no mod 1 pick.
This is such a tricky free mod 1, and I would like to drop the quick shout-outs to Zudinator for that, 2-100 Hidden Hard Rock FC last night in Canada versus Australia. Unreal performance there.
What was that?
Poland looking to maybe catch those same vibes here. Maybe get Malashevsky in on Hidden Hard Rock and he drops an FC just the same. But this one is, would you say maybe slightly awkward aim? It feels like, it's kind of a Hidden 1-esque map dropped into the free mod pool.
Yeah, exactly. It's awkward. It's very awkward, very linear, geometric shapes everywhere. So it has a lot of aim mechanics. It's over 7 stars, no mod. But the difficulty here is more in the awkwardness and the element of control. I mean, about halfway through, 2/3 of the way through, you have these crazy circular linears and screen jump triangular jumps, kind of like the ones in Flower Dance, very popular love map. That sort of thing, on AR9 as well. So there's a lot to this more than the mechanics, I think. Looking at players of Bartek, though, I wonder what Bartek's going to be doing here, because he could be a good fill for an AR9 hidden, for sure. But an AR9 no mod, maybe a safer option for him.
We're seeing a bunch of changes in the roster, so hard to say for sure here.
Yeah, maybe he might even be playing. It looks like he's not even going to be in this one.
Yeah. United States? Washi coming in for this one. I don't feel that this is the type of map where you normally see him. Normally in on the low AR stuff, but, a kind of denser free mod 1 might be right up his alley. Taquito hidden Recti on Hard Rock, presumably. Vaxe no mod. You might see Bashi on a second no mod here. Malashevsky, Rough Fall, Nahus, and Mustache, of course. Malashevsky on that hidden, Mustache on that Hard Rock, and Wypan, Nahus on the no mods. And this, again, every pick now, I think, for Poland is going to feel like a must-win, and this is going to be one of them.
Yeah, no doubt. This is critical for Poland now. The aim worked out last time. They're going double Hard Rock for the reading comfort over the mechanics. The players on there aren't going to mind the trickier mechanics, especially because this is big circle size. CS 3.5 base. So the circles aren't too small on Hard Rock. Very critical here for Poland.
This is one of those maps that's definitely, I think, kind of equally comfortable or uncomfortable, depending on how you look at it on either mod. For comfort, hidden players not going to be too big, but there is a big break from Malashevsky. It's only very early on, another quite long pick, but that was a bit of a chain miss. Dropped him all the way down to 95k. Or 95%, I mean. 95k. Maybe better than anybody else in the lobby at 95k. Dropped him down to 95%. Going to give that US side just the tiniest early lead.
Yeah, this is a little bit. It counts, but with the harder patterns to come up, like this one, it might not matter yet. It's Nahus with a big break there, though, on the side of Poland. 2 FCs down already for them. Boshiman follows up, though. 3 FCs to 2.
If I'm Poland, I'm terrified of the USA mod players with the way Rectagon and Taquito have been looking today, and of course Vaxe so consistent on the no mod. USA always very strong in these free mods for those exact reasons. They've got players who are comfortable on everything. And the break from Wypan there again. Only 1 FC left for Poland. It's Mustache with the lone FC. Taquito does drop, so it's 2 FCs for the USA and some backing combo building up for Poland. But 55k lead, and it's just going to be kind of holding steady there for the time being.
So far, though, still very close. Those aim patterns I mentioned, they're coming up soon, though. They could decide things. They're not far away now.
Yeah, if you're familiar with what Hidden 1 mapping typically does, this map throws a lot of that linear and wide angle patterns all over the place, just like here in this section. Will we see any breaks on these big squares, big up and down patterns? Tricky stream, everybody making it through comfortably, though. These players refusing to miss any time in this middle portion.
Yeah, no one breaking on those streams, just Boshiman, but he's not one of the big combos for the US. It will flick back into Poland's favor, though. But here come those aim patterns.
We get These big geometric patterns. There goes Nahu's immediately. Everybody else holding on. That pattern is disgusting. Pan falls as well, though, and that is danger zone for Poland now as Masha still continues to hold the Hard Rock FC. Malashevsky continuing to be on a solid backing combo, but Vaxe Rectagon holding the double FC, backed up by Taquito. They're going to extend that lead back out to 50k in their favor. About a quarter of the map to go, so this is still going to be dangerous territory for both teams as Bocce breaks once more.
Still not getting very far here, the US. But the two players with the FCs are looking rock solid. There goes Mustache. Poland now in deep trouble here. The US are finally going to run away with the lead. Finally, they will run away with this lead.
3 minutes into a almost over 3 minutes into a 4-minute map. United States finally can maybe breathe just a little bit as there goes Nahus on the backing combo. Once again, it's going to be a solid performance from multiple members on the Polish side, but the United States is just going to be the stronger team. They've got Vaxe and Rectagon on the double FC. They've got Taquito on the high accuracy, I believe maybe one misplay, and that is going to be enough for a 300k lead. And once again, you feel a little bit for Malashevsky, that early break, but since then has been so rock solid. And Mustache with that 800k on Hard Rock, but unfortunately, Rafal Nahus just not doing what they needed to. United States, man, double FC again. It is Rectagon on the Hard Rock putting on a clinic today on these free mods, and Vaxe becoming the Vaxe that we're used to seeing, that no-mod anchor player on the free mods, dropping the FCs and making sure the United States has comfortable leads. It's a double break point. It's 5-1. I don't think any of us saw this match going quite this one-sided. United States now matched points the rest of the way through. Opportunity to close it out right here, right now on their own next pick.
Yeah, I think the USA have heard the rumors about this being close and they didn't want anything to do with that. This is the US I think everyone is used to seeing. They are looking so strong today. These scores have been just incredible from the Americans. Poland have been putting up a good fight. Their scores have been good in the grand scheme of things. But they're just getting outplayed here by an incredible team performance from the US.
And this has been the history of the United States. You've always had both top-end talent and roster depth for the last decade of OWC now. And they scale to infinity and beyond in these late round pools. The United States never feels like they fall off. It always feels like they have a 4-man roster for every map at every stage of the tournament, and that's what's giving them that big advantage in this match as well. They just seem to have more good scores on any given map than does Poland in this matchup. And when maps are being decided by 300-400k, that says a lot.
I mean, I'll say that one was pretty close ultimately. It was a good fight, but at the end of the day, the US are 2 FCs on that. It's just a great team performance, really. It's just a case of them stepping it up and doing what we know they can do when they needed to do it. This is the matchup they needed, this performance, and they are giving it to us right now. DT2. And here comes that speed abuse. This is classic US territory now.
Yeah, USA looking for the dagger here with the DT2. They did not play this yesterday. We do not know what their scores are necessarily going to look like. Poland did have the second best score of the week on it, but that was only with a 2.6 million team score, right? That was not an overwhelming performance. And USA, they spec heavily into speed this year. They bring along Woodchi, they bring along Window Life, they have Rectagon, they have Vaxe, they have Taquito, they have Kama. There are so many players on this roster who are so good at tapping. The United States is scary on any map that involves heavy use of that left hand.
Yeah, no doubt. Regardless of the opponent, the USA are always going to be the favourites on a map like this, right? Stamina, 228 BPM. Around the solo, about 2/3 in, it kind of becomes a bit of a control map. Lots of doubles and quads as well. That also sounds like a US sort of map too. But Poland's speed abuse is also something to be feared. They'll be competitive on this. They have an amazing speed roster too. Should be a really good, another high-level fight here. But it's a power pick. It's a US comfort pick to try and seal this one out, no doubt.
Yeah, this Polish roster is super strong on these types of maps. When you've got Malashevsky, who's capable of dropping an FC, you've got Tomasz Sik, who's probably going to drop a very solid score. The question is going to be, what are your backing scores going to look like? Because they fell down pretty hard when they got to those third and fourth players, the 500k, the 400k on Rafal and on Rapis yesterday, not quite the scores that I think you would need against the United States. So we'll see if they can pick it up a little bit to cover a little slack from yesterday, because I don't think the way the United States is playing, the United States is not going to give you any comfort, any room to work with here. When you've got Vaxei, you've got Window Life, you've got Taquito and Rectigon, you've got a speed roster that is feared.
I think Rapis and Whitepan coming in on their day, they could FC this. I mean, Rapis is one of the obviously old school speed players, DT players, and he's still very much on form. And Whitepan is one of the in-form up-and-comers for Poland. I imagine they could do a lot better than what they did yesterday. They need to, given how well the US is performing. It's match point for the US here.
Match point for the US. It is a tapping heavy pick, which we really haven't seen any speed yet in this match, so we'll see if the players are ready to go on it. A couple early breaks from Rectigon. It's going to give Poland the tiniest early lead. But it's 3 minutes, it's consistent tapping, it's finger control, as you mentioned. And this is a map that does not let up at any point.
It's a very early miss from Rectigon right at the start. Down on a bit of ack, but I'm sure that'll recover.
See the four-way still alive there for Poland, looking pretty good across the board. 97 on Rafal, but 98s on the other three. Malashevsky going up over 99. And there's a trade. It's going to be Window Life and Rapis trading FCs, so no blood there. It's going to maintain the exact same combo, exact same score. There goes Rafal, there goes Vaxei. So now we have the 2 FCs for Poland against a 1 FC and near FC. Taquito Rectigon against Malashevsky and Tomasz.
See the players on some of the best form for the US here, up against the up-and-comer DT Mechanics player in Tomasz and of course Malashevsky.
And you just expect Malashevsky to FC, because that's what he does. So the big question is going to be what those backing scores look like. There goes Tomasz. The United States can now pull this lead back. They still have Taquito on the FC, they still have Rectigon on the near FC, and they're recovering combo on both Vaxei and on Window Life, trying to do their best to match Rapis and Rafal, who are also on solid recover combos. But that lead goes over to the USA for the first time on the pick as we crest the halfway mark.
If anything happens here for Poland, it's got to be Malashevsky to try and pull something back. But he's waiting. It's not in his hands right now. Taquito and Rectigon are having none of it.
They're not giving an inch. Now they are, though. It's Taquito breaking. It's also Window Life breaking. Vaxei had just broken before. It has now Rectigon on his own, and that is a lot of combo. This is going to go over to Poland in the last moments if they can continue to hold. There goes Tomasz, but Rafal is still holding on to that big backing combo. He breaks. It is now a 1v1. It is Rectigon against Malashevsky, but Malashevsky in the lead. United States a bit more backing combo, though they take a tiny, tiny advantage. This is going to come down to the last seconds here, Doomsday.
Yeah, it's coming down to the last moments there. Rapis with another break, though. Rectigon goes, and the FC's down for the US. It's just Malashevsky now, and that multiplier is going to skyrocket over to the Polish side.
This is looking like it might just be Poland taking the break point. Even with Tomasz and Rapis breaking, it doesn't matter. It is all about Malashevsky. That FC coming in clutch for Team Poland, and it looks like it is going to be a break point for Poland. And don't count them out of this match just yet, because that keeps them alive and gives them their own next pick to try to bring this back. It is now 5-2, but that was exactly what Poland needed. They had to win it, and they did. Malashevsky once again coming up clutch, as he has done time and time again in the past.
Yeah, Malashevsky with the goods again. Great score, 98.6. Speed is probably his weakest skill set, but weak for Malashevsky isn't really in his dictionary. That's incredible stuff there from the Pole. And yeah, Poland's still fighting. They still have some good picks on the board as well they could go into. It's not over yet. Not quite over yet here.
It is not. And you've got some picks here if you're Poland. You've got the Nomad 4 available. You've got the Hidden 1 available. The entire free mod pick has been picked out. Hidden pool has not been touched at all. I mentioned earlier I was curious whether we'd see any hidden, and so far the answer seems to be possibly not. But when you've got Malashevsky, you've got a Nomad 4 that's very difficult here. You might think about it, but you're up against a team with Taquito, Vaxei, Rectigon, so it might be a little more scary than it would otherwise be.
That No Mod 4 seems pretty scary to me into the USA in the 4v4. But it is the sort of map where it just takes one player to carry it because it is so wacky. It hasn't been very popular, and I can see why in terms of how scary it can be. I mean, if you want to go into more aim, well, there isn't really anything left there. The closest thing to it is like Epistrophe, which isn't really aim, that's more tech.
Yeah.
Maybe Hidden 2? I don't know.
Yeah, Hidden 2 is actually the closest thing to an aim map that remains, but it is going to be the Hidden 1. I like this pick for Poland. Again, it's just saying, Malashevsky, go do your thing, and we're going to try to back you up as best we can, because any of these tech picks are going to feel like they are right up his alley, and this one is no different. I mean, Hidden, it's got some tapping aspects to it, it's got some slider tech aspects to it, and it's very short as well, sub 2 minutes. This is going to be a very quick one, but this is such a Malashevsky map. He's going to feel right in his comfort zone on a pick like this. United States is going to have players for it as well, don't get me wrong. But I think of the remaining options, this might well be the best one for Poland.
I do think Hidden suits Poland pretty well because they have plenty of players that are just Hidden comfort mod players. Whether we'll see Bartek on this, not too sure, but he's certainly a Hidden comfort player. Of course, Malashevsky, Nahus as well, also a Hidden comfort player. They have players that when you get them on Hidden, they're just more comfy than they would be on No Mod on something like this. There is Bartek coming in. They're fourth? A little bit fourth B. Michny, maybe?
Perhaps, yeah. Could be. Could be. I haven't seen a whole lot of him so far this match. Don't think it's Tomas Sheik. Don't know that it's Wypan.
I think there's a non-zero chance it could be Mustache, but I think it could be. I mean, Michny's might be the shout. I mean, we'll see.
I feel like it's gotta be. I almost feel like it has to be, because I just don't know of the other players who would be the option. Meanwhile, United States, I mean, you've got Taquito in on this. Oh, it is gonna be Mustache. Interesting. I think of him less for maps like this and more for, you know, the aim types of things, but if he feels comfy on it, then more power to him.
He's a solid all-rounder that could fill anywhere where needed in a team. We'll see how their 4 works out against the 4 of the US. Boshiman, Taquito, Karma, and Vaxe. Again, all players there who are going to be just fine on this. This techie map, again, very short. Look at that timer. It's not even 2 minutes. 2 minutes could be all it takes for the US to take down one of their great rivals. Let's see.
See if they can send Poland packing. The number 2 seed would be dropping out as top 8. But they've still got life in them. As long as they still are breathing, they'll still be fighting their way through this matchup as best they can. And they've got players for a map like this who can put up great scores. This one is going to be intense, I am sure. Into it. My eyes on Malashevsky, of course, on that Polish side. We'll see if he can't drop another crazy FC on another one of these difficult tech maps. It's going to be Taquito on that first break for the United States and advantage Poland early on.
Followed up by Mustache, though, traded the FCs to 3. In this streamy section with doubles, plenty of cuts.
And of those players to break, I would place more. I would have more trust in Taquito recovering his combo than on Mustache. Unfortunately, it's going to be a trade again. It's going to be Bashi and Nahus. So now you've got Malashevsky Bartek against Vaxe combo, but there goes Vaxe. Double FC still alive for Poland.
Just a 1. I think it's just Karma on the side of the US, but Taquito is recovering, as you said.
Look at the accuracy. Oh, and there goes a triple miss for both teams. It is Malashevsky. Oh, and he's gone too. 100k lead for the United States. Boshiman, the only player with any combo coming through that quick slider section. And will he be the hero that the United States needed? We're coming into the last quarter. It's 145k. He just needs to hold on into the ending, and the United States will have done it.
Yeah, just a little bit now. The last slider's coming in, but that's 200k nearly and rising. Boshiman, the gimmick player of all time, coming in here for the US. Wrapping this match up in a nice little bow. He does get the break. But that is going to be it. The USA take down Poland. They are still in it. They are still fighting. The champions will not let go of their crown so easily. What a huge win here for the Americans.
That win has to be massive for the United States. You think about their mental after last week, after dropping that 6-1 against Canada, trying to recover from that loss. Clearly, they did not let it sit on their minds for too long. They got right to the grind, and they were prepared and ready to go for this weekend. It's much the same story as last year, where they lost and came into the losers bracket and just ran roughshod over all of their opponents, doing the same thing here again this weekend, dropping 3 maps combined to Sweden and Poland. And they once more, 2 years in a row, it's going to be the United States eliminating the Polish squad, who we had such high hopes for. Unfortunately, going to be sent home top 8 from the number 2 seed. Unfortunate for them. Another year maybe of a couple what-if moments, but the United States, no what-ifs for them. 5 straight OWC titles, and they continue on their quest for 6. Making it through now once more to finals week, where that scaling will continue to come in and be so important. You've got some incredible members on this roster. You've got some incredible rookies on this roster, and now they are set up to play next week against a Philippines team that was just dropped down losers bracket earlier today by South Korea. Might I say, the USA versus Philippines looks like a mighty tasty matchup in finals week in losers bracket.
It does. The way Philippines played against Korea, they just seem to be punching so far up against anyone, and they will not be too afraid of the USA. But I gotta say, the USA, they are only getting stronger, and of course, once you hit finals, that's their power spike, ain't it, T1G? When they get to the finals, that's it, the gloves are off. I do have to put a word in for Poland, though, because this bracket has been so messed up. Poland top 8 is an insane result, but this Polish roster has been incredible. They have been incredible this tournament. They are really coming back into form. It was a tough matchup for them, but I'm sure we'll see them back next year. Thank you very much for playing, guys. Looking forward to seeing you again.
Absolutely. Such a fun team to watch. Malashevsky, one of the best players in the tournament year in, year out. You love to see what they're capable of. And we'll hope to see maybe even more improvement from them over the next year. Meanwhile, though, USA advancing onward. One of the scariest teams you'll ever see up in that top 6. Going to be a terrifying matchup for anyone. We're down now to the last match of the weekend. It is going to be in a couple hours' time. It is going to be Germany versus Chile, the last match in this losers round 5. It's going to be at 19 UTC. That is in 3 hours. Am I? Yeah, that'll be 3 hours time. Yeah, not sure why the screen says 2 hours, but that's 3 hours time. You will not want to miss that one. Those teams both had tiebreaker wins yesterday. Germany over Russia, and Chile, of course, over the United Kingdom. Sorry, Doomsday. Your comrades not able to close that one out. Chile looked very strong there, but these are two teams Chile looking to make it to top 6 for, I believe, the first time ever. Germany, of course, looking to continue a run of form that has stretched for 3 or 4 years now. That is going to be an exciting match if the way they played yesterday has anything to say about it.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. You don't want to miss that. Rounding off this incredible semi-finals weekend here in OWC. It's in about 3 hours' time. And then, of course, after that, not too sure what time, but there is going to be a map pool showcase to show off the finals maps as well after that. So stay tuned for that. But we're all done here. Just for the cast T1G, it's always a pleasure, mate.
And same to you, Mr. Dooms. It is always a joy to be in the commentary box with you. Thank you to everyone for watching this incredible match, United States moving onward. And we will see you all in just about 3 hours. Germany versus Chile, rounding out our semifinals weekend here at OS World Cup 2023. Grab your coffee, grab your snacks, take a little break. We'll be back on the other side for the last match of the weekend, followed by Map Pool Showcase. We'll see you then.